This was actually wild when it ran across my desk. This was about the Simi Valley students that attacked the two students. Yeah, I think it was a group of them. I want to say about maybe 7 to 10 of them. And one student was African American, and the other student was, I want to say, not. I'm not sure what the ethnicity of him was. Now, I saw the video, and I'm not going to lie to you. I was outraged because first off, you didn't even knock him out. Like I was like, yo, if you're gonna like jump somebody, at least beat him up good. Like, how do 10 people jump one person and there's a black eye and maybe a couple scratches? Like that was crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just thought about it in a weird perspective. But the craziest thing to me though, about the whole thing was though the way you guys hurled them slurs, like, but it was the way you did it. You guys really thought you guys were in like a rap video, some sort of, I don't know what it was, whatever you were cosplaying, whatever you thought it was given, it was not given. You thought you were like rapping or something. I don't know. It was gang, gang. You were saying the N word with the A. I'm going to give you that. It was with the A. You're going to probably use that to fight it in court now that you're arrested. But it was it gave the hard R, though, the way you said it. You was like, run inward, run inward. Like that's how it felt when you like were saying it. Like, and it didn't, it just hit it. Like I said, it was not given what you guys probably thought it was given. And the fact that you guys are suburban teenagers thinking that you guys are gang, like maybe you guys are more in tune with how the pulse of society really is. Because as soon as that whole situation happened, the very first thing you did was sit on the cop car, on top of the cop car, and feel entitled and say, hey, yo, yeah, we did that. Yeah, had to. Oh, my dad works with y'all, though. So, we get away with things like this. Maybe that's indicative of what's going on in society nowadays. And if that's the case, that's horrible. But I want to say that there is a lot of backlash, tremendous backlash by a lot of the residents of Simi Valley who called for actual action by the police, which I feel is great. I thought that was unprecedented. Not unprecedented. Kind of shocking by how fast the response of the community was. To be honest with you, especially for an African American student, at their school. I just thought it was very. I commend the community for that. To be honest. Now, like I said, it just the way that just I'm still on that. It was crazy. Now, like I said, 4 of the students were arrested. I'm not sure if it was one of the main students who was in the video was arrested. I'm not sure what the hate crime should be constituted in this situation. They're calling for it a hate crime. I don't know if it'll be just a regular assault. My theory is I think it should be a hate crime, but I know it probably won't be because in every part of this country, African American people have gotten that part of the stick, that end of it, if you know what I'm talking about. Like I want to say that we watched the LGBT plus community ban find, which is amazing, but find a way to where if you say anything negative about them, you are demonetized on your channel. If you do any kind of hate speech against them, you are demonetized. And I think that's great. You shouldn't demonize any kind of group for whatever reason. If you're not a part of it, doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense. Like Asian people in this country, I want to say a couple of years ago, there was a law that was passed. If you assault them, it constitutes as a hate crime, which I think you should. Like, I think that makes sense. Black people, unfortunately, in the Constitution, we're still 3/5 of a person. So we don't have no laws passed for us. Now, I also hypothesize with my chat, what if we were to pass a law that says hurting or assaulting Black people was a hate crime? We would get hate crimes on each other. That would be another way for them to actually put what they call that, an enhancement on your sentence. So maybe they should probably implement that. That would be crazy, going to jail for a hate crime against your own community. Maybe it would teach you to love your community more. Can you imagine? How do you tell your parents that? I went to jail for a hate crime against my own people. But anyway, I digress. Now, I didn't know that the student who was actually attacked came out and actually had a response to the criticism and wants to speak his piece. So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick, and we can see where his stance is and how he feels. Maybe he'll come out and say, hey, it was my fault, such and such, maybe it was this, but I don't know his side. So let's go take a look.
A Simi Valley teen who was beaten and attacked in what some say was a racist assault is speaking out as community members demand accountability. 18-year-old Michael Robinson believes he was targeted because he is black. And
sharing his story tonight, not only for himself, but for others who have been harassed and victimized by this group. And he says the city and the police need to take it seriously. Michael Robinson says a night out with his friends turned into this nightmare of a scene. He says a group of intoxicated, hostile teenagers started by picking on his friend with whom they had prior issues and then turned their rage on him. Robinson described their unrelenting punches, kicks, and their hurling of racial slurs.
They hit one of my friends in the face first, then they hit another. And then they come in and they rush me, and I'm in between two cars. I managed to get out from behind the two cars, and I run into the parking lot. As I get into the parking lot, they proceed to slam me into the hood of somebody's car and jump me.
From one angle, you see Robinson trying to shield himself from their blows with a chair and then took off running. He says he pleaded with a mall security guard to intervene, but the person cowered, didn't offer any kind of lifeline in his time of need.
But they still caught me, and when they caught me, they decided they were going to put my head in the trash can and proceed to hit me in the back of my head.
Several people have written into KTLA alleging this same group of white teenagers are responsible for victimizing other black and brown teenagers.
Yeah, I wanted to say, like I said, that was very cowardly. He said he caught him in between two cars and proceeded to give him the beats. And I don't know why this was motivated. What was the motivation? They just walk. Everybody's saying it's racially motivated, and probably is. And that's what's going on in America right now. Like I said, if you put hurting another black person as a hate crime, never gonna happen. This type of stuff would stop happening. But unfortunately, like I said, in the country we live in, that will never be a possibility. Like I said, anything about any other community on this planet is very well protected. But unfortunately, in the eyes of the Constitution, we're still 3/5.
Fuck that little 10. I'm maxed out.